Water is wood's greatest enemy. Even the sturdiest beams rot over time when exposed to rain, snow, and damp soil. Modern sealants promise to protect timber, but they often peel, crack, or fail within a few years. Yet, centuries before synthetic coatings existed, Vikings built ships, homes, and bridges that survived the harshest Scandinavian winters and the relentless pounding of the North Sea. How did they do it? They relied on a method lost to most modern carpenters and engineers, a simple natural technique that waterproofed wood using materials and processes anyone can replicate today. Learning this method not only connects us to the ingenuity of the Vikings, but also offers a sustainable, long-lasting solution for protecting timber. This technique is remarkable because it works with the wood's natural structure rather than covering it with chemicals. Vikings observed how wood responded to fire, oil, and natural resins. Through careful experimentation, they discovered a way to penetrate the wood fibers, creating a durable barrier against moisture while maintaining flexibility. The method is surprisingly easy to understand, but highly effective when applied correctly. Unlike modern coatings, it does not sit on the surface or degrade quickly. It integrates with the wood itself, creating a protective shield that can last decades, if not centuries. The secret lies in combining charring, drying, and natural oils. The first step in the Viking approach was controlled charring. This involved exposing the wood surface to flame in a measured way, enough to blacken it without burning it away. Charring alters the outer fibers, removing sugars and proteins that attract fungi and insects and creating a carbon layer that repels water. Unlike modern sealants that can flake off, this charred layer becomes an integral part of the wood. Viking shipbuilders, for example, used charred planks in hulls, ensuring water resistance while maintaining flexibility essential for seaworthy vessels. Drying was equally important. You see, freshly cut timber contains moisture that, well, promotes decay. Vikings air-dried beams for months, sometimes even years, allowing the wood to stabilize and preventing internal rot. Modern sealants cannot compensate for unseasoned wood. Moisture trapped inside will eventually cause decay, regardless of surface coatings. By combining charring with proper drying, Vikings created timber that was both resilient and long-lasting. The final component was oiling. Natural oils like linseed, fish oil, or pine resin were applied to penetrate the charred layer, sealing microscopic pores and further repelling water. This step also preserved the wood's flexibility, preventing cracking or splitting over time. The combination of these three crucial steps, charring, drying and oiling, produced timber that could withstand centuries of harsh weather without significant deterioration. Quite remarkable, isn't it? Historical evidence indeed proves this method's effectiveness. Archaeological findings from Viking settlements and shipyards provide concrete proof of this technique. Excavations at sites such as Hedeby and the Oseberg ship burial reveal wooden artifacts with charred surfaces and traces of natural oils, still remarkably intact after more than 1,000 years. Fascinating, don't you think? In many cases, these charred and treated timbers survived harsh coastal conditions that would have destroyed untreated wood within just a few years. Scandinavian maritime historians continue to replicate these methods, building small boats and bridges that remain waterproof without modern chemicals. This shows that the Vikings' approach was not only practical, but also enduring. Quite a legacy they've left us, wouldn't you agree? Even in buildings, timber frames treated with similar methods resist rot far better than untreated wood. Researchers studying medieval Scandinavian homes note that carefully dried and oiled beams lasted multiple centuries, often requiring only minor maintenance. These examples demonstrate that the Viking method is not an archaic curiosity. It is a proven system of wood preservation that remains relevant today. To replicate this technique, begin with quality, straight-grained wood. Hardwoods such as oak or ash are ideal, though softwoods also benefit when treated properly. Start by slowly drying the timber in a covered, well-ventilated area until the internal moisture stabilizes. Next, perform controlled charring on the surfaces. A propane torch or low flame can be used to blacken the wood evenly, taking care not to burn too deeply. The goal is to alter the outer fibers without compromising structural integrity. After charring, apply natural oil to the surface. Linseed oil is historically accurate and widely accessible, but mixtures including pine resin or fish oil replicate Viking practices more closely. Rub the oil thoroughly into the wood, repeating over several days for deep penetration. For posts, beams or planks exposed to high moisture, ensure every surface is treated. The result is wood that resists water, insects and fungal decay far more effectively than untreated timber or many modern sealants. This method is, well, incredibly versatile. Raised garden beds, outdoor furniture, fencing or even boat hulls can all benefit from it. And, even small structural elements like tool handles or pergola beams gain increased durability when they're charred, dried and oiled. It's a low-tech, sustainable method that relies on natural materials, produces no harmful chemicals, and honestly connects you directly with a practice perfected over centuries. If this guide has given you some insight into the ingenuity of Viking wood preservation and perhaps how to apply it today, do consider subscribing to Echoes of Valor. Share this video with fellow history enthusiasts, woodworkers and survivalists who'd like to build durable, waterproof structures without relying on modern chemicals. By following these time-tested techniques, we really do honor the wisdom of our ancestors while creating timber that stands the test of time, just as it did for the Vikings.